2 days into college and I'm 3 lectures behind. That's how I'm feeling right now, dude. And in all actuality, it's not really that, dude. I'm like 2 days into like shitting and I'm like four shits ahead, dude. I don't understand it. I might have like a reverse tapeworm or something right now, dude. I've been taking I don't understand where it's coming from. I don't get it, dude. This is how like cavemen must have felt about shits, dude. I feel like we're gonna talk a little bit about some mythology today, dude. I feel like there should be more mythology around shitting, dude. Cause how the fuck am I? How am I shitting this much? I don't get it. I'm taking like 18 shits a day, all fucking horse piles, dude, and I'm not eating that much. I don't understand it. I don't like I said, maybe I have a reverse tapeworm. Maybe like a tapeworm came up in me, and maybe he's like done with all the food I'm eating. Maybe he's like, "Fuck this! I'm just gonna give this guy extra shit, dude." I don't know. But today's episode is tobacco, which is probably also in part why I'm shitting so much, dude. All this nicotine I've been eating. I didn't look up why tobacco makes you shit, but I looked up some other things about tobacco, so fuck it. And I'm also tired of shit right now, dude. Like I said, or fuck it. Like I said in the when I tried to record this episode, I'm tired as fuck right now, dude. I got an 8 a.m. lecture. I got an 8 a.m. chemistry lecture. So it's like I'm trying to understand chemistry 2. I don't understand chemistry 1. I cheated through the whole thing. It was all online, so obviously I fucking cheated on it. And now I'm in chemistry 2, dude. She's out here talking about fucking like phase states and shit. Whatever we're talking about. Limiting reagents. I don't understand any of it, dude. So I'm gonna have to find a way. I might have to bang her. You know what I mean? I know she wants this sexy 5'5" body, dude. I know she sees this 5'5", slightly overweight dude with a fucking fucked up pug face, and she's like, I want that. I might have to get in there, might I might have to fuck her for the thing, dude. Um, all right, but today's episode is tobacco, and so like I said, I'm tired as fuck. So this episode is gonna be worse than worse than usual. All right, so the main type of tobacco is Nicotiana tabacum, which that is we're all thinking the same thing here. That's a black name. That's like a black first name, dude. There's a black dude in my class. His first name is Sean Kelly, dude. It it's getting out of hand. We gotta have a meeting, dude. I gotta talk with Dr. Umar or something. These names are because that's not even like Quavingene or whatever, where it's just like a collection of it's just two names put together. I mean, the Whites are doing it too. The Whites as a White with a person that has like two first names as their name, kind of, but not really. My parents did go the black route. It might have given us a percentage or two, like kick in the DNA, because they just made up a name. You know what I mean? Um, but no, that does sound like a black name. Nicotina. Nicotina, get your ass in here. Nick, what you doing? God damn it, dude. Black voice, 2 fucking mini episodes in a row. I'm going down. If anyone discovers this, honestly, if anyone discovers this and they're angry or happy or whatever, fucking, you gotta be hyped, dude. Um, but there's another type of tobacco, and this one's more of a this one's not really a black name. This one's definitely like a white trash name. All right, so it's called Nicotiana rustia, which that's a white trash white name if I've ever heard it. But it's also called Aztec tobacco, and it's 9 times more potent. And I don't know what it's more potent in because there's like, I guess there's multiple different types of chemicals in tobacco. It's not just nicotine that like get you high. I mean, and it explains why they were like throwing people into fires and like sacrificing like 80,000 people a day, dude. Because imagine if you were just smoking like cigarettes constantly, but the cigarettes were like 10 times more powerful. You'd be going fucking hog wild. That might give you schizophrenia. Because normally the schizos, they smoke the cigarettes a lot, calms them down. I think this does the opposite. I think it has a reverse effect. You're just out of your mind constantly, thinking 9,000 miles an hour. You know what I mean? Imagine being a retarded guy. Basically, that's what we're talking about. Before like probably 1900, like 90% of people would be considered retarded. So imagine being a retarded guy and just your mind is moving at 1,000 miles an hour, but it's like you're not any smarter. You're just thinking more. And so I think that's how they came up with the fucking sacrificing 18 people a day to get the sunrise or whatever. Which I mean, I fuck with it, dude. And like I was there's you guys have probably seen this video. It's the video of like the Maori, however you say it, lady doing like the dance like the haka or whatever it's called, in their Congress. I'm not gonna Parliament. I'll say Parliament. It's so gay, dude. Congress sounds so much sicker, dude. You know what I mean? But and I fuck with it. And like the haka, if you don't know, it's like a traditional like Maori like war dance or whatever. But when the Maori would do war, dude, they were going hog wild. You want to talk about the Aztecs? I don't know. The Aztecs at least have the excuse if they were operating on like borderline like Adderall or meth like 24/7. I don't know what the fucking Maori excuse is, dude. But the Maori, when they would go to war, dude, they were like eating babies and shit. You know what I mean? Like classic, just classic fucking war back in the day. You know what I mean? Putting babies on trees and shit like that. Hey, I get it, dude. I mean, in America, we were doing that shit up until like like the 1900s, like the American Indian Wars, dude. We were putting Indian babies on trees and shit, so I get it. But it is very funny that like someone introduces a bill and you're like, dude, fuck this bill, fuck you, and fuck this bill, dude. I'm gonna do my magical my magical baby eating dance, and I fuck with it heavy. I might start doing that. Like I get like a D on an assignment and I just go up to my professor and rip it in half and start fucking doing a baby eating a magical baby eating dance. It is like I fuck with it heavy, dude. Like I was saying, I might be 2% black. I may be more percent Maori because I mean, just the second I'm inconvenienced or something doesn't happens that I don't like or like anything like that, dude. Nothing. I can feel it in my soul. My soul. God speaks to me. He says, "Do a magical baby eating dance to get these fucking crackers to shut the fuck up, dude." So I get it. I get the magical baby eating dance. But yeah, they weren't smoking on tobacco. I think um and I know a lot about like the Australian Aboriginals. I don't really know about the Maori or the Polynesians or anything like that. In the New Zealand, they're not like related to the Aboriginals really at all. So I don't know what they were fucking with, but the Aboriginals didn't really have anything at all. They were just like chanting for four. They were getting high by making themselves go insane. Like that's what that's what the Aboriginals are doing, dude. And if you look at some of like their traditional cultural practices, I'm not gonna get into it, dude, but I mean, if the Jews are cutting off like the tip of the dick or whatever, the foreskin, and like that makes God fuck with them more, then God really loves the Aboriginals. You know what I mean? If fucking with your dick, if cutting pieces off your dick makes God fuck with you, dude, the Aboriginals are popular, dude. They're all getting up there. You know what I mean? They're going hog wild on the meat. Just like, and you got to think about it, dude. They were living in like the Stone Age, like in terms of like the tools they had, like they didn't have like metal forging and shit like that. Like obviously they were living in like grass huts and shit. So it was just like some dude who like made himself go insane by like chanting 4 hours a day with like a sharp rock, just going hog wild on the meat, dude. And I think the first time it happened, it was probably like a circumcision accident, and he's like, "No, dude, this is how we're doing it from now on." I'm not gonna go too into detail. If you want to look it up, you can. But yeah, they were going hog wild on the meat with just sharpened rocks. Which I fuck with heavy, dude. Like I was saying, I fuck with it. I fuck with all of it. Um, but the main chemical in tobacco is nicotine, like I said, and I might do a whole episode just on nicotine because I'm not, you know what I mean. Like I like an occasional cigarette. I've never like really done dip. I can't do dip, dude. As someone who has like a father that dips, like as a kid, and I think every kid that has like a dad that dips like has experienced this. You see that Sonic cup, you know what I mean? And you're like, ooh, my dad went to Sonic. He probably got like a blueberry fucking, you know what I mean? Whatever concoction they're making up back there, whatever like gasoline and fucking kerosene and shit they're mixing to make these drinks. He probably got the fucking best one, dude. And you go and you see that Sonic cup and you feel it, and you're like, oh, well, it's styrofoam. Obviously, I can't feel the cold from the inside. And you go and you look at that beautiful white cup and that beautiful logo, dude. That like Warhol-esque, you know what I mean, logo. All those beautiful bright colors on it. And you go and you put your lips to the straw and you start sucking, dude. And you're like, ooh, what is in here? What magical, delicious treat is in here? What blessing from God? What's that shit called? The ocean water? Whatever it's called? God damn, dude, what's in here? And you go and you take the sip and you just get a fucking warm mouthful of spit and tobacco, dude. And it just ruins it completely. I don't think I can do dip after that. It's like cigarettes, dude. Like I I couldn't smoke like cigarettes or even like smell cigarettes for a while because like I smoked like when I was a kid. I got my hand on some cigarettes, dude, and this was this was like 8th grade when I was like addicted to vaping. In 8th grade, and that was the first time. The second time, fuck it, I'll talk about it, dude. Today's episode is tobacco, so I'll talk about the second time I got addicted to vaping. But the first time, dude, and I was sucking on the jewels, dude. My boy, my plug, my Boy Scout jewel pod plug didn't have any more, dude. The cops got him or something. He got locked down. You know what I mean? They took his license away. He got deported or something, and I couldn't get my hands on the fucking because he was a Mexican. I don't know if I said that, dude. Like I said, I'm tired as hell. And I got my hands on those jewel pods, dude. The mango, the creme. Oh my god, dude. The creme brulee jewel pods just tasted like fucking maple syrup. I'm 90% sure they put maple syrup in that thing. But that boy got locked up or something. He got his license taken away, dude. The Mexican fucking cartel, they were like, we run the jewel pod. Fucking illegal business or whatever, dude. And I got my hands on some cigarettes, and I was like, cigarettes, dude. Fuck, I'm gonna die. I was convinced I was gonna die, but you know what I mean? And this is how I know. When people like talk about like those people that like get addicted to like heroin and fentanyl or whatever, and they're like, why don't you just stop? And it's like, dude, I get it, dude. I was like 12 years old, 12, 13 years old, however old you are in 8th grade, and I was like prepared to die. I was like, I'm gonna get lung cancer, dude. I'm gonna have to start cooking meth after these like 2 cigarettes I'm gonna smoke. But anyway, dude, I smoked these 2 cigarettes, sucked them straight down, you know what I mean? No breaths in between. I'm 90% sure I didn't inhale a single molecule of oxygen when I smoked these 2 cigarettes, and I was like buzzing, and I was like, oh yeah, just what the doctor ordered. It's so funny that I was like 13, and like I'm like older now. I'm like in college now, and so I look at a 13-year-old, and I'm like, that person goes that's the future of our country, dude. That thing's never gonna learn how to do anything, dude. Like when you look at a 13-year-old now, it's it's an Aztec, dude. It's a Maori, dude. It's like a, what's that called, Lord of the Flies. Everyone says that's about human nature. I think it's just about like little kids being retarded. I think that's what it's about, dude. That's what the Aztecs and the Maori were rocking, dude. They just had like that good 8-year-old brain. Same with like everyone else back then. They were just rocking with 8-year-old brain all the time. But and that's how I view like a 13-year-old now. I'm like, oh, there's no difference between like a 13-year-old and an 8-year-old. It's the exact same thing. So it's just funny to imagine an 8-year-old just like, fuck, dude, I'm stressed out. I have a coloring sheet due tonight, dude, just smoking on like a unfiltered Camel, you know what I mean? Just pure tar entering his lungs because of how stressed out he is about having to draw a picture of Jesus or whatever. But anyway, dude, I sucked these 2 cigarettes down just straight to the fucking dome piece, you know what I mean? Just a headshot, just a 12 gauge. I Bud Wired these cigarettes, dude. I basically blew the back of my head off smoking these cigarettes. And it's like it's either Tom Sawyer or Huck Finn, one of those books, but it was a similar experience for me. I'm sorry if you guys can hear me like swallowing and stuff. That's it. That's my bad. If you can hear it, like hit me up. And thanks for hitting me up, by the way. My boy, I'll use the code name, you know what I mean? Can't have him getting exposed, but my boy Glenn, who I did an episode of another podcast with, hit me up and fucking told me what was going on. I say this like anyone besides him is listening. It's so funny. Just to say this to no one, you know what I mean? Like I'm a radio announcer. Like a radio announcer, not now. I probably have as many listeners as like fucking 105.9, the suck or whatever they call it. But yeah, I sucked these 2 cigarettes down, took them straight to the back of the head. You know what I mean? Like that that video of that dude getting executed in Vietnam, that like famous like picture or whatever. And I sucked these 2 things down, and I was like, dude, I'm buzzing. This is great. And then about 30 seconds later, I went back into my house because, you know what I mean? I was smoking these things out back. Couldn't get caught lacking. And I went back in the house, and I just immediately got nauseous. Just like the most, like people talk about like morning sickness or whatever with chicks when they're pregnant. Dude, I must have been pregnant. Dude, I got impregnated by the tobacco, dude. You know what I mean? The sprems from the tobacco. God damn it. I just sniffed so hard. Sorry if you guys heard that. But the fucking sprems from the tobacco impregnated me. This evil thing, dude. This definitely deadbeat father, dude. If tobacco was a person, if you know what I mean? anthropomorphized tobacco, definitely would be a deadbeat father. Definitely the type of tobacco I was smoking too. You know what I mean? Camel cigarettes. That thing is not taking care of his kid. Not a cent in child support to me and my fucking cigarette baby. Um, but yeah, I took the and I got so nauseous, dude. I was just laying on the cold fucking concrete floor of our bathroom, just like when is it gonna end? And that's why I can't like even or that's why I couldn't for a while even like think about cigarettes, dude. Or it would make me nauseous. And then I was like, no, cigarettes fucking rule. Especially like a nice menthol, you know what I mean? A nice minty flavor. Just the harshest mint you've ever had in your life. Like Altoids, curiously strong, dude. Menthol cigarettes are curiously strong. God damn it, dude. Um, but anyway, another type of chemical found in tobacco is called telepethine, and it's what it sounds like. It's a aharmala alkaloid, and it is also it's found in like really small amounts in tobacco. But you have to imagine like the Aztec tobacco, the nicotiana rustia, however you say it. It's probably found in like pretty heavy concentrations. It's probably added to the fucking, you know what I mean? The baby sacrifice, you know? Just the fat fucking. That's probably. God damn it, dude. I can't think. I'm so fucking tired right now. Um, but yeah, and it's so this shit telepethine, the alkaloid. It's also found in ayahuasca. So, dude, just imagine being on like a mild ayahuasca all day, and like these people didn't know. They didn't know that like they were hallucinating because of this drug they were taking, which I mean it seems obvious, but like they were operating with 8-year-old brain. It's like when you're an 8-year-old and you eat like 18 pounds of candy and you're like, dude, what's wrong with me? I must be maybe I have like cancer or an aneurysm or something, dude. What's going on? They were operating with that 8-year-old logic, so they probably had no idea. They were probably just like mildly just like hearing like whispers all day, just hearing like all day. They were like, fuck, dude, I think I gotta throw a baby off a cliff. I think I gotta midsummer this baby, dude. I don't know what's going on. But the World Health Organization, dude, Fauci and his squadron of goons, and apparently found this out today, dude. Fauci and some other boys got pardoned by like Joe Biden. And dude, Joe Biden had like the lamest pardons, dude. Like Trump, when he was going out of office, he was pardoning everybody. He was getting everybody out of jail. He's like fucking Ted Kaczynski, dude. You're coming home, dude. I'm building a cabin just for you. I got a brand new cabin for you, Mr. Kaczynski. You know what I mean? Joe Biden got the lamest. He was like fucking like low level federal judges and shit. He was like pardoning them, dude. So good. Trump was out here like Ted Nugent. You blew up a dog, dude. Who gives a fuck? Get out here. Come play at my inauguration. But the World Health Organization named tobacco as the number one cause of preventable death, and I'm gonna take a controversial stand and disagree with that. I think maybe like killing people with guns. I think that might be number one. You know, I think like the constant mass murders we have going on that might take precedent over tobacco. You know what I mean? And if you can blame tobacco for killing people, you can blame, I mean, gunpowder. People use gunpowder to make drugs. If you've seen that movie, Beasts of No Nation, that might be a top 5 movie. That's a good fucking movie. But and they take like that shit and they like cut their heads open, not like all the way open, but they put like a cut on their forehead, just like a little cut. You know what I mean? Like when a dude gets like fucked up in like a fight or whatever, and they like put the shit in there, like that's gunpowder, powder and heroin. So, I mean, look, gunpowder is a drug. I think nitroglycerin is a drug, and that's in gunpowder. Dude, I don't fucking know. But the word is derived from tobacco, and that's a Taino word for pipe. So it was a type of pipe that like these Caribbean people used to smoke. And this is a theory I've been had going on where it's like if you hear like a name or a word or something, and you're like, where does that come? That's clearly not like an English or like American like name or word. Just start like busting out like the most wild accents you have. You know what I mean? It's like I don't know. I'm trying to like haggis. You know, if you like heard haggis and like you didn't know the context of it, and you just started like running through the accents, you go like an haggis. You know, like Start off with like an African. No, it's not African. Do a Chinese. Hi guys. Hi guys. You know what I mean? And then eventually you run through them all. You do all your other accents. You do like a Mexican, hey haggis, you do a Mexican accent, and eventually you'll arrive on Scottish, and it'll just sound right. Haggis for Scotland, I'm eating haggis. You know what I mean? And that's how you figure out where words come from. And that's probably, like I've been saying, dude, that 1800 science, I fuck with it heavy. You know what I mean? Like measuring skulls and shit. Being like, this guy has an extra lump on the back of his head, and that's why he says words weird. I fuck with it. I just fuck with the old way of doing things. There's just so much. You could just make up whatever you wanted. But anyway, so back to tobacco, dude. And fuck it, I'll go back to my theory. No one's listening anyway. But it's like you run through the accents. You do like a Chinese tobacco. That actually does sound pretty fucking good now that I'm saying it out loud, dude. Tobacco might secretly be Chinese, and the government's been hiding that from us. But it's not tobacco, not Scottish, dude. They can barely get that one out of their weird fucking their haggis eating throats. But you eventually get to like Caribbean, and you could even say, I don't know what like the Caribbean accents back then sounded like, but like you say it with like a modern Caribbean accent, like tobacco, you know what I mean? It just sounds good. But say it with like a native tobacco. Doesn't sound as good. I don't know. Maybe they had a different word for it. They obviously had a different word for it. But the Iroquois myth say that tobacco first grew out of Earth Mother's head after she died giving birth to her sons, Sapling and Flint. And dude, that's some great head. I need some head that's as good as fucking tobacco leaf, dude. I need that nicotine head. But yeah, I was just thinking about how much it sucks to be like the god of like saplings. Not even like a full-grown tree, dude. I don't know if like they're the god of that or like they're that incarnate. I don't really understand how like most of these myths work. But dude, just imagine getting fucking sapling and then you go up. You know what I mean? All the gods are meeting. You meet like Mars and stuff. Ares, the god of war. Fucking Kratos. I don't know what he's the god of. I mean, that's obviously god of war, but in the Greek it's Ares. But just imagine meeting all those guys. Fucking Kratos is just the god of being badass, and you're like, dude, what are you the god of? And you're like, fucking fuck off, dude. My mom is dead. All right, my mom died. It doesn't matter what I'm the god of. And then fucking like you like quietly admit it. You're like, I'm the god of saplings. And they're like, dude, get the fuck out of here. You meet the Maori god of putting babies on trees, and you're just like, god damn it, dude, I'm not even a tree, I'm a sapling. I can't even relate to these people. But Flint's not a bad one, you know what I mean? Flint's like the basis of all the gods. Even sapling, if you look at it like that, isn't too bad. But like I was saying about the Chinese, dude, tobacco might secretly be from China. So China is the number one producer of tobacco in the world with 2,134,000 tons, but that's tons with an E. So I don't know if it's 2,000 pounds or 2,000 kilograms, but they're like number one by far. And then I think number two is like India, and then like Brazil, and then Zimbabwe. Which I mean, that's a good list right there. That's a good list of child labor, dude. You can tell every time you smoke a cigarette, take down a Zin, put a dip in, you can feel the tenderness of the child's hands. I wonder if tobacco picked by children is more tender, dude. That's why they keep it going on. It's a tradition. You know what I mean? That's where the outliving people comes out. You know what I mean? Like if a lib is like child labor is bad, you hit them with well, what about like indigenous child labor, huh? Indigenous people aren't allowed to practice their. Is that what you're saying? Hit them with that, outlib them real quick. Boom, cigarettes are $1 cheaper. But yeah, no, China's got it number one. And like I said, child labor is common in tobacco production. And then the final fact I got about tobacco is that people used to blow tobacco smoke up people's asses to bring them back to life or to like get them breathing again. And it's funny because we talked about with like the vampire episode, like that myth came from like people not knowing when people were dead or not. So there was definitely like some living dudes who like had smallpox or like just some like fucked up disease like that. Like their body was slowly consuming itself, and just these retards dressed in the most insane clothes you've ever seen in your life. You know what I mean? Just just like some, or like, it's even funnier to imagine like the British or like the American colonists who think they're like all this, because they did it too. It wasn't just like the native cultures. It was like everyone was doing it. It was like a common thing to blow smoke at people's asses to bring them back alive. And it's very funny to just be dying in like in just like the most shittily made house. You're like dying on like a packed dirt floor. You know what I mean? You've like hollowed out the floor a little bit to like give yourself a place where you can just rest and slowly die. And some dude walks in with like a rubber tube and like a fucking cigarette in one hand. He's like, "All right, he's dead. We're gonna bring him back to life. Don't worry, Johnny. You're gonna be back soon." And you just don't have the power to fight back, and you can just feel the tube slowly entering your ass. And this dude just takes a slow fucking cool drag off a fucking Marlboro, just blow some smoke up your ass. I wonder if a menthol would feel better. We might have to do an experiment, dude. I might have to do some field research for this episode to figure out which type of tobacco smoke up your ass feels better. If it's fucking, I feel like a menthol, that might bring you back to life quicker than like a regular cigarette. You know what I mean? Because like you get that minty coolness inside your asshole. And look, we're all gonna act like we've never like fucking eaten like some spicy food, and then you go to like wipe your ass and a finger breaks through the toilet paper, as is common, and then your ass just burns for like 3 days. We're not gonna act like that's not like a common thing, and it just shows because like your finger isn't burning, so your asshole's obviously more sensitive. So you got to imagine that like the menthol smoke gives you like the jitters. You know what I mean? It's like after you take a piss, like that jitters you get. That's probably what getting a menthol up the ass feels like. All right, another shitty episode in the books, but look. You got to do it no matter what. That's like the thing. Even if you're tired, you're just fucking whatever. Just do the episode. I'm basically Goggins at this point. I didn't talk about shrooms at all. Maybe I'll do that next episode. The only actually I'll talk about shrooms because I got a couple minutes left. But the only observation I had from shrooms is like, as annoying and as like kind of like not funny as this podcast. I'm like pretty like, I'm not like the most self-aware person, but like, all right, I just don't really care. I don't know. But when I was on shrooms, right, I was watching something. I don't remember what. I was watching Band of Brothers for a little bit, and I was like, dude, I can like fully like empathize with these people now and stuff because I'm on shrooms. And then like 2 seconds later, I was like, that's the gate. No, I can't, dude. Those people watch like thousands of people die in front of their eyes. What the fuck am I talking about? That was my only like takeaway from shrooms is that like no, taking shrooms doesn't allow you to like understand everybody in the world. In any maybe like slightly, but not really. And if you think you are, you're just high on drugs. You know, it's like, but what? I feel it. I can feel it in my soul, and it's like, no, dude, you're high on shrooms. Like you're not feeling what reality is. You're literally out of reality. So that's all I've got for this episode, dude. Like I said, I'm tired as hell. I'm sleepy as hell, dude. Call me Joe, but that's all I've got. All right. Yeah, have a good day. Have a good week. Have a good year. Have a good life. Have a good month, semester, wherever you're at. And I'll see you guys on Sunday, hopefully. All right. Peace.